Hello everyone, I hope you're very good tonight. I'm Veronique and I'm back with the new videos on Scope International Society. So tonight I'm going to speak about the following subject about the supply chains impacting in terms of the challenge that has with the COVID-19 and also the impact that can making as per restaurant organizations to be very agile during these years. So as I previously explaining to the previous videos, what is the supply chains, what is the impact of the supply chains, and what organizations must be develop their supply chain and understanding from the start from the producers manufacturer to the end of the customer. As you see, in this year has been challenging many business and there's been impacting the macroeconomic of the world itself. Organization will be found out the challenge and the strains that happen to the supply chains. Yeah, as well impacting us as an individual to really see the way we live, to see what we do. The COVID-19 has really shown us what we do and demonstrate a scheduling time. So it's the same things that happen for organizations. Do you really think that you found out that you are very the organization are very efficient during the COVID-19? As we've been talking early, the impact of the supply chains is really to make organizations to really be agile. So how can you make yourself be sustainable? Obviously, we talk about through the supply chain to the COVID-19. Do you really can talk about sustainability? In this case, it will be very, very, very difficult to implement the sustainability via the supply chain during this COVID-19 because many business could not be able to ship the goods on time. Many business do not have enough of stock available for different customers around the world. And all the organizations, even when it's a time of lockdown, some store as every store as the shelf empty because many people actually comes and purchasing. Do you really think that the economic has been responding to the demand? This is the main questions that we must ask to yourself via the supply chains. At the moment, we can see that there's a lot of suppliers. We can supply a lot of things, but it's really difficult to respond to the demand. Is it the demand variation is higher than the supply? At the moment, is the supply is higher than the demand. So how can business can make in this become more high demand and be able to respond because the level of variations are kind of not in the same level. In this case, in the supply chain, it's really important to find out the root of cause of the issue. When an organization understands the root of cause, it can be in terms of the start of the contract, it can be in terms of transportation, it can be in terms of customer procurement, it can be in terms of communications. It has a lot of different reasons via the supply chains, but the supply chains must understand the root of cause of an issue so that they can be able to provide the solutions. And to do that, it started by to have the revenue, the profit. If you find out that you bring profit to any things that you do via the supply chains, then you are on the road, on the right mode map. But if you find out that it's not easy and that the revenue is not coming up, that in that moment you can thinking properly. Then the following questions is going to be, how can we increase the demand? The demand starts from the productions manufacturing side. Is the organizations has enough of equipment that is capable to produce any work in progress batch? Some business started with a large batch, but to make the organization very agile, you must start with the small batch. Small batch create a lot of sustainability, be quicker and answer quicker to the demand. Obviously, we talk about the technology. The technology has a lot of impacting that make an organizations to be very agile via the supply chains and make them be very responsible, efficiency to respond to the need of the customer, efficiency between the supplier and the customer, efficiency between the stakeholder, and also open the door, open different reasons such as reward communication, reward exchange, and tracking positions of goods and for example, sharing data between nations to nations, which is optimizing any time within the organization external. It's like a kind of controlling the external, the internal as well. So when an organization has been found out that this impacting, obviously, when we're talking about this, it's actually impacting the sustainability. Sustainability doesn't mean just green sustainability. Sustainability doesn't mean that at all. Sustainability including the economic side starts with the profit company that bringing the profit to the organizations and the government of economic. The government has a lot of impact via the supply chains of many organizations. When a government is consolidating and update information, this actually impacting the supply chains of many organizations. Because for those who actually have overseas organizations, they can actually be sustainable where the government are consolidate information that meet the market. Then why it's so important to understand the macroeconomic side. If we are talking about through these societies, many focus on students to really let them know that yes, when you finish the study, you must know what you wanted to be after be graduates, because the market has a lot to offer. So what have been studying? Are you really think that is in the market? Are you really ready to be there? Or also those the many university give the opportunity to any kind of student to study. There are some students do not have any fund to go to study. There are some country let students go for free. Do you think that economic has this capability to let students go for free or have some fees that make students to study? The barrier can be impacting. That's why I mean the sustainability. It's not just mainly green. It's focused on the government capability to responding to the need of the market and understanding of what the people need. So following that, if we are going deeper and deeper, this is the summary of the deepest of the story that I'm going to speak about this subject. In this time, we're going to talk about the uncountability. The uncountability has a very big impacting because it impacting the inventory forecasting. By the time that you meet the demand, you understand the forecasting. So the uncountability is, if we see the charts, the uncountability, the inventory edit the demand. Where we have the demand, it is possible to meet the need of the market. That's made me make the same variations on between the supply and the demand. So this is really important to understand this part. Obviously, you already have many videos regarding what is the order chain of the supply chains. As the society are really talking about humanity, educations, mentoring, and business, and also childhood protections. In this case, it's really into consolidations, especially because we talk here on the macroeconomic side. So thank you very much for this listening, for this videos who has been creating like an improviso. I've been very flexible and doing this like impracticable videos to share to everyone tonight. So I'm going to make longer videos later on, so you have a view of something tonight. So if you have summarized these videos, it means the following: the supply chains area can be sustainable when an organization or when the economic of the country can establish accountability and focus on the inventory forecasting that lists the demand of the years, for example, worldwide, that can develop the supply. And then obviously that's impacting the economic in terms of communication, in terms of government consolidation information, and in terms of sustainability via the planet to increase the economic of the country. Many people today we have in our house good that we don't use, but we have so many things in home that we use, but you special need to have it, but we have it. So that's the main questions. Why we have things at home that we not use, but we keep buying for it. That's the same thing in the supply chain. The sustainability not can only be green, but they can also be economy, government, planet, and people. So thank you very much for this tonight, and I'll see you later for a new videos, more deeper develop it through the subject. If you have any questions, go through our Facebook, our YouTube pages, Student Union pages, and ask any questions. We'll be available to respond to you. Thank you very much, and have a good day.